I'm Dutch, and let's react to the Americans. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Johan, and I'm a typical Dutchman. And if you're planning to come over to Europe for your holidays or to live here permanently, or if you're wondering why is everything so expensive in America in comparison with Europe, then you are at the right channel. Because in this channel, I take a look at and react to videos about life living in America versus life living in Europe. And for today, we're going to take a look at this video was suggested to me from MAGA Americans are not welcome in Europe. Here's why. So if you're planning to come over to Europe, I don't know why. I want to take a look what's going on right here. But it's from Pachoni TV, so we're going to start with a subscribe and a like. And I'm wondering if it is MAGA Americans or just Americans. We don't know. Let's take a look at what they have to say and why aren't they welcome.
I've been trying to tell you that the rest of the world does not need the US. We are pushing our allies away. Germany's newest chancellor just slammed Donald Trump and his administration. We are no longer allies. It is crystal clear in Germany that the US is more of an ally to Russia than it is to Germany. I don't know who's keeping count, but so many countries have made it crystal clear that we are no longer on their favored list.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people still in America do not know what's going on with the rest of Europe, thinking how they think about America and America as being an ally or not. So it's not that they don't want to also, but they do not know. It's living in a bubble, and this bubble is not showing them what's going on in Europe and how Europe is thinking about what Europe is thinking about the US. So yeah, and Germany is one of those. I wonder, are there more?
So just because many Americans continue to think that we are the best, there are countries all over the world that not only do not agree with us, they are actively working to disentangle themselves from us. The US is clearly in its find out phase for the rest of the world. And that is a scary prospect to those of us who did not vote for this administration.
Oh, so she's an American too? Yeah. So she is one of those who actually looking outside the bubble and sees, okay, there is something different over there in Europe. Yeah. And she did not vote for Trump. Okay.
If you're American and for God knows what reason you still support Donald Trump, you should be massively fucking ashamed right now of yourself, of your country.
She sounds like British.
Especially your shoddy excuse of a president.
She is British.
The way that he has just spoken to Zelensky is fucking horrific. Not just him, but also the little arse weasel that is JD Vance. He and his fellow countrymen have been fighting relentlessly for the last 3 years after Trump's best mate Putin decided, oh, it's a nice day to take over another country. Some of the stories of the families who have had to flee the Ukraine, who are now currently living in the UK, it's just absolutely soul-destroying. So for that absolute thunder cunt that is Donald Trump to say to Zelensky, you're not ready for peace, and basically taunting him and saying that he's the reason, or he's toying with people, millions of people's lives, and this is going to cause World War III. How
infuriating. Yeah, and I have nothing else to say. I totally agree. It's so, yeah. Infuriating.
incredibly disrespectful, and shows just how little he actually knows about world politics. Or he knows everything, because obviously he's definitely in Putin's pocket. Zelensky sat there, calm, considered, diplomatic with his responses, whilst fucking Beavis and Butthead were going at him. The most unpresidential behaviour I've probably ever seen. And I don't think that he's done all this just because he's up Putin's arsehole. I think it's because over the last couple of days, both Keir Starmer and Macron have absolutely fucking owned him publicly, live, in interviews, showing him that he knows absolutely nothing about world politics. And what do bullies do when they're humiliated? They find somebody else that they can take their anger out on. He is a weak, uneducated, narcissistic man, and he just thrives off of status and attention. That man couldn't run a bath, let alone a country. So if you are American and you still support Trump, then probably not only will you be fucking around and finding out, but sadly, I think possibly American forces too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a man with no political career at all. His only political career was the 4 years that he was the first time the president. And he has no clue what's going on outside. It's only me, and me. Yeah.
Because if anybody's starting World War III, it's that twat.
I hate to break it to the Americans, but what makes you guys think that Europe is not going to be forced to unite against you guys if Trump keeps doing what he's doing? So America have now decided to negotiate with Putin without Europe at the negotiating table, which is something that, by the way, is never done. And this is mainly because Europe and America are literally like this, close in ties, alongside the fact that that war in Ukraine is literally an Eastern European country. And so you would think that you'd consult neighboring European countries that also happen to be your closest allies and have them at least seated at the negotiating table for this war. But of course, that's not what the Orange Man wants to do. And I don't think people really understand what this means. Not even the United Kingdom is going to have a seat at the table with regards to this Ukrainian war. The United Kingdom, that funds literally everything. As you can see, it is already happening.
Okay, it's going in a different direction, this video, than I expected. America not welcome. I mean, why? But this is about ranting why Trump is doing the stuff that he does and disregarding the war. Not disregarding, but yeah, not ally up with his allies in Europe to fight against Putin and for the freedom in Ukraine. Oh, this is a different video than I expected. Starmer, I am ready and willing to put British troops in Ukraine. Yeah, Europe uniting against the US.
Within the UK, Europe is trying to unite without the backing of the United States. So guys, if it's looking like America first, then Europe is going to be forced to unite against this BS. And that BS is literally with our closest ally.
So I saw this photo in a post just a little while ago. And from a factual standpoint, this is very much incorrect. If you're traveling to Europe and you own a MAGA hat and you want to wear it in public, you're definitely able to do so. You're going to get some looks. But from a legal standpoint, you're
I don't know what's wrong with this picture. Okay.
perfectly fine because MAGA hasn't been determined to be a terrorist or hate organization, even though there's evidence to the contrary. You know, see January 6th and everything Donald Trump has ever said or done. But that having been said, I personally feel that anyone that has ever owned a MAGA hat or has been given one or purchased one and worn one in public should be forced to wear that fucking hat for the rest of their goddamn life. Because when MAGA dies, and it will, they should not be able to blend in with the rest of us. They should not be able to stand up and say that I never believed that women shouldn't have bodily autonomy. I never said that the Muslim religion was incompatible with American society. I was never okay with people being forcibly removed from the United States without due process. I never thought that it was okay for the Secretary of Defense to send fucking war plans in a goddamn signal chat.
What he is suggesting is people should get a tattoo. I was MAGA.
I believe in taking an approach of Aldo the Apache in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, it's the name. I was looking for the movie that has happened. And yeah, Inglourious Bastards when he carved
You want to take off that uniform? That's fine. I'm going to give you a little something you can't take off. So it should be with the fucking MAGA hats. Because them motherfuckers need to be identifiable in public forever. If you're going to put it on, keep it on. Then we'll let history decide.
This tip is fantastic.
The French hate MAGAs. Why?
And here we go. 5 tips to avoid looking like the ugly American. Number 1, don't wear MAGA gear outside of the United States. Well, you might think that in the United States, you are making an important political statement. When you wear MAGA gear outside of the United States, it's incredibly offensive and insulting, and oftentimes even threatening, and makes people feel unsafe in your presence. Leave your MAGA gear for your friend groups at home.
Okay.
Number 2. Starting a conversation with, "Do you speak English?" is rude. You start with, "Hello, how are you? Do you speak English?" If you can say it in the native language, that is even more polite. Try to learn that phrase. Watch your volume. Americans speak at a louder volume than people in other countries. Keep your voice low and have people sit closer to you. Your conversation is for your immediate group. Number 4, you are welcome to wear anything you want, but going out and about in Europe in athleisure or looking sloppy or wearing your flip-flops is going to make people think that you don't have the money to be in the establishment you're visiting, and you're not going to get the same level of attention or service because people are thinking you're probably going to try to cheat them. So look the part if you want to be treated as a person who belongs in the space that you're visiting. And
Okay. Those are actual tips about the stereotypical American.
number 5, don't make loud comparisons that are disfavorable as you're out and about. It's perfectly fine to say, "Oh, the bread here is so much fresher." If you have a complaint, save it for when you are back in your hotel and share it quietly amongst your group. Nobody likes it when you visit their home and critique it.
Hi, idiots and
Yeah, okay. Good tips. I don't know where she's from, but good tips if you're visiting Europe from America. Hi, typical MAGA.
MAGA. From a German perspective, I want to
Oh.
say thank you guys for being the new embarrassing ones on planet Earth. We handed you a blueprint on a silver platter of what not to do, and you motherfuckers did it, and you're doing it with style, exposing yourselves for the evil people that you are, and exposing your country and generations to come to ridicule and embarrassment and shame. Aber vielen Dank, because now Germans, we look like the normal ones again. Like, we fucked up, yes, but you guys, like, saw that and were like, let's do it. Like, idiots. I never want to hear another American shit on Germany again. I'll never take it. The nation's doing nothing to help its people, and MAGA's all for it. Idioten. You guys suck. Thank you. We're no longer the bad guys.
US
From Germany. Okay, yeah. Most of the time, Americans make a bad joke about the Germans and the German history. Now it's on them. It's about the MAGA. Yeah.
US News won't show you this, but I will. This is from a weekly French news magazine, Le Point. The title says, "The Man from Moscow." Below that, the subheadline states, "Putin and Trump, the alliance of predators." It's also important to note that this news magazine has a reputation for being center-right. This is a magazine that tends to support conservative values. In this article, the author goes on to compare Donald Trump's presidency to a geopolitical earthquake, even comparing it to the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989.
No.
And the author makes a pretty strong stance that Europe as a whole can no longer rely on the United States for security and stability.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of European nations and nation leaders say. We can no longer rely on the US of A to be our ally in case of an emergency.
It then compares the United States' proposed offer of more continued support in exchange for valuable minerals from Ukraine as financial extortion. Article makes it clear.
Yeah. A lot of people think, I do think about this one the same as from if you don't pay, you don't get support. And that's one we have to extract those valuable minerals. Yeah, minerals. Yeah, the mineral deal. It's not the, and the other one was that Zelensky and now other European leaders have to pay for the weapons delivered to in defense of Ukraine. Mm-hmm.
You can still believe in self-reliance and strong defense without blindly following one dangerous leader. Even European conservatives are saying this, pushing for independence while still calling out this dangerous alignment between Donald Trump and Putin.
So what do you think of Donald Trump?
Okay. Yeah, clear. France is one of those that say, no, no longer. Question, so what do you think of Donald Trump?
Interesting person.
He's not my cup of tea.
I'm not a fan.
I don't think you would want to put it on your website.
I don't think I got the words to describe him. It's just...
Also in England or in Great Britain?
Unbelievably unpleasant.
I think he seems a bit irrational, if I'm being honest. The decisions he makes are rather based on emotion as opposed to any logic or sound reasoning.
Yeah. Agree.
I think he's quite unbelievable, really.
He's a bit of a joker, a bit of a chancer. And he's a businessman, he's not a politician.
America has lost its standing in the world. I would have thought that, well, certainly throughout my life, America has been the predominant power.
I can't believe he's back in power. I can't believe the things he's saying. He's just totally off the scale.
He's essentially had a feeling that he can essentially do more of what he wants and abuse that a bit more.
His policies are all, they're also right-wing, and I just don't get him. I know he's a businessman, maybe he's doing so good with the economy, but that's about it.
MAGA people, the answer is yes. The world is laughing at Donald Trump.
Yeah, we are.
No, I'm serious. Do you remember a few weeks ago when the German Prime Minister gave Donald Trump a copy of Trump's grandfather's birth certificate? Yeah, he was making fun of Donald Trump because his grandfather was stripped of his German citizenship for cowardice when he evaded the draft. It runs in the family. Queen Maxima was definitely making fun of Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, oh Queen. Oh, Queen did the same.
Trump and his weird, unsettling facial expressions, which at this point I'm not even sure are fully voluntary anymore. Even Prince Charles, who is probably one of the more repellent world leaders today, which is saying something, hates Donald Trump and is laughing at him. When he was just recently in Canada, did he stop to say hello to Donald Trump? No. He visited Canada and then he hightailed it the hell out of there. He's not even allowing Donald Trump to stay overnight at Balmoral when Trump has his big state visit later this year, because King Charles can't stand him. And all that is to say nothing of the NATO summit that just ended. I mean, yeah, I know those world leaders said nice things about Donald Trump for 2 days, but guys, he's a malignant narcissist. It's not hard to figure out how to stay in his good graces. You just say nice things about him publicly, and he'll like you. But did you notice that group photo they took at the end of it? When the photo was done, they all broke up into little groups to talk. The two guys that were standing by Donald Trump immediately turned to one another to have a conversation. And when Trump tried to elbow his way in to look like he was a part of something, they didn't even open up a space for him. They completely iced him out, which was hilarious because Donald Trump is a fucking joke.
Donald Trump.
I did not see that, but I believe it. Yeah. Donald Trump is not welcome in the UK.
Trump is not welcome in the UK. Yeah, Donald Trump is not welcome in London. According to all the lefties, on the comments of the social media pages that are posting about Trump's UK visit, yeah, apparently they're speaking on behalf of the whole country. He's not welcome here. Well, who are you speaking on behalf of? You're not speaking on behalf of me, mate. You know, as a man whose family have been in London many generations, yeah, we welcome you with open arms and we thank you for being a true leader, a true hero, a voice for the people and a man of integrity. You know, it was amazing to watch him come here, put our Prime Minister in place, make their comments on about that arsehole that we have in charge of London, Sadiq Khan, and just be open, honest, and not a puppet to the establishment. You know, the majority of Brits, yeah, the true Brits that actually love this country and are patriots of this country, welcome you here with open arms. So never ever let anyone from the left think they can tell anyone they're not welcome here. The audacity of it, the cheek of it. Who the fuck are you lot to tell anyone that they're not welcome in our beautiful country? Donald Trump, thank you very much, and you are welcome in the UK anytime, sir.
Nobody trusts.
Oh boy, yeah.
Donald Trump, and our European allies are showing how true that statement is when a handful of them have announced that they will be accompanying President Zelensky from Ukraine to Washington to meet with Donald Trump on Monday. Now, we all know how that last meeting in person went between Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and President Zelensky. Essentially, President Zelensky was thrown out of the White House and forced to return to Ukraine. So this time, our European allies aren't going to take that chance. They're coming with President Zelensky, and they're going to make sure that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, or whoever else Donald Trump has there, since J.D. Vance is still on vacation, that they don't run roughshod over President Zelensky again, that they make certain that Donald Trump isn't doing Putin's bidding, that they're actually trying to get a ceasefire that leads to a peace deal and not just jump right into a peace deal, which is what Putin wants, but it's not what's needed.
Saturday.
Okay. MAGA Americans are not welcome in Europe. This is all about ranting about the president and how he's not welcome, what he's doing, and how he's alienating his European allies. Yeah.
June 28th. I'm going to make a promise of two things. One, MAGA will pass, and so will Donald Trump. Two, all of you people with the face masks on, pretending to be ICE agents, whether you're deputized or not, there's a Nuremberg trial coming for you down the line. I don't know if it's tomorrow. I don't know if it's a year from now. It might be 5 years from now. But I'll keep working out just to live long enough to see that I can help them put you away.
That's a hot one. That's a Nuremberg trials. Crimes against humanity.
Because what you're doing, this is not America, and it's not legal.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Talk soon.
Bar defense kicking out MAGA woman.
Out of my bar.
Because I'm wearing a Trump hat.
A queer-friendly jazz bar has responded to backlash for kicking a woman out for wearing a MAGA hat. On Friday the 14th of March, staff at Chatterbox, a jazz bar in Indianapolis, Indiana, told Elise Hensley to leave their establishment as she was wearing a Make America Great Again hat.
Why? Why?
Because you're a Trump supporter.
I know, but don't you guys want our money?
No, actually we don't.
Taking to Instagram on Monday the 17th of March, the bar addressed the incident, writing, "On Friday, March 14th, a group of individuals visited Chatterbox and intentionally misgendered and harassed a Chatterbox employee, resulting in them being asked to leave by our staff. They then continued verbally assaulting our patrons and staff and threatened our establishment. We do not tolerate dehumanizing or disrespectful language or symbolism in our establishment." Elise Hensley, the woman who was told to leave, claimed the incident was discrimination.
You know this is like discrimination, right?
Oh, boo-hoo! Get out of my bar.
Elise has since been interviewed on a local news channel in which she said,
I wore that hat because I do love our president of the United States. He is our president. I do appreciate that, and I don't think I find anything wrong with me wanting to wear a Trump hat.
I wonder, what is he doing? I did not see him move forward. Is this just a picture of what? I don't know.
Because he is our president.
In response to Chatterbox's statement, Elise told the news channel that she did not misgender anyone at the bar and that she would have willingly taken off her hat if she was asked.
Okay. yeah, different video than that I expected. Yeah, it's not about what the video started with, was MAGA Americans are not welcome in Europe. Here's why. So I expected something more about, but it's more about that how MAGA, in this case, how the president of the United States is acting up, and how this affects the European leaders, and how they are acting and thinking about the US, and how the citizens, how we of Europe think of America and the American president. And that's not good. I can tell you that. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. If you want to see more of my videos, then this is a good place to start with. And otherwise, just hit the subscribe button. That's always good for the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.